Hey everyone, it's Triple Mango Threat, and today we're going over Storvald Frost Giant Jarl, a commander that makes you pay 3 more mana to target it, and our other creatures. Loves to make creatures 7/7s and 1/1s, and is also a 7/7. Let's jump right into it. So Storvald costs 4 green, white, blue, already has a huge mana cost, but it has Ward 3, which means whenever a permanent with Ward becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, counter it unless that player pays an additional cost. So 3 mana for our opponents is a really ridiculous price, especially if they try to cast Swords to Plowshares. This is a 1 white mana spell that just became 3 and a white mana spell, so our commander will make it much harder for our opponents to interact with us. Continuing on, Storvald gives our other creatures Ward 3, so when he ETBs or attacks, we can choose one or both. We can give target creature base power and toughness 7/7 until end of turn, or the same thing, except it's a 1/1 until end of turn. Both are very powerful abilities, especially for using both of them. So let's talk about how we can get our commander on the battlefield as soon as possible. Turn 1, we can cast Avacyn's Pilgrim. We can tap it and get us a white mana. Fyndhorn Elves and Llanowar Elves both get us a green mana when we tap them. So by turn 2, we're already at 3 mana if we have one of these. Rampant Growth and Cultivate. These ramp spells are going to get us lands onto the battlefield, which can be more reliable than creatures. This is because if there were to be a board wipe, our creatures would die, but we'd still have the lands, and this is assuming our opponents are not destroying our lands. Some creatures we'll want to make 7/7s are Cold-Eyed Selkie and Diviner Spirit. Whenever we deal combat damage to a player with Cold-Eyed Selkie, we draw that many cards. Diviner Spirit lets us draw that many cards and the player we hit. I thought this was a really neat card, especially if that player needs to draw cards, we can work out a deal. They still lose 7 life, which is a lot of life to lose, but if they're desperate, they'll lose the life, and we're that much closer to killing them. Slitherblade, Triton Shorestalker, and Invisible Stalker can't be blocked. They are the perfect target for making our creatures 7/7s, especially when they're meant to be 1/1s. Storvald is really powerful in this way. Midnight Pathlighter. This is an underrated card, and for only 33 cents, we get creatures you control can't be blocked except by legendary creatures. This ability is so good. If our opponent doesn't have a lot of legendary creatures, which is likely just to be their commander, we can deal a ton of damage with this one. Now, it's important to give our creatures trample if we want the damage to go through. Rancor. This is an enchantment aura that gives the creature +2/+0 and has trample, and when it's put into the graveyard from the battlefield, we can return it to our hand. That is super helpful. Unless it is exiled, we just keep getting it back to our hand, so we guarantee we're always giving one of our creatures trample. Primal Rage gives all of our creatures trample, which is helpful, and for only 2 mana. Brawn. When this is in our graveyard and we control a forest, creatures we control have trample. This is a great creature to have, and if it dies, even better. We can give our creatures double strike with Battle Mastery. For 2 and a white, we give a creature double strike. And when we make that creature a 7/7 and it's unblocked, that's 14 damage. Holy Avenger. This gives a creature double strike, and when it deals combat damage, we can put an aura from our hand onto the battlefield and attach it to that creature. This will definitely be a hit or miss because we're not aura focused, but it's important that we're giving the creature double strike. Avenging Hunt Bonder. It has double strike when it attacks. We put a double strike counter on another attacking creature, so over time we can get our creatures to have double strike. Or the best option is to give all of our creatures double strike with True Conviction. For 3 and 3 white, our creatures have double strike and lifelink, which is nice. We can easily overwhelm our opponents with Champion of Lambholt. Creatures with power less than Champion of Lambholt's power can't block creatures you control. This is a great way to make our creatures unblockable, and could be easily done with our commander giving it base power and toughness 7/7. Cultivator of Blades. It has Fabricate 2, which is when this creature ETBs, we can put 2 +1/+1 counters on it, or create 2 1/1 servos whenever Cultivator of Blade attacks. You may have other attacking creatures get +X/+X until end of turn, where X is Cultivator of Blade's power. And this is super cool because if we choose to keep the 2 +1/+1 counters on Cultivator of Blades, we can stack that attack trigger with Storvald's attack trigger. So we make Cultivator of Blades a base 7/7 with its 2 counters, and we have a 9/9. So now all of our creatures get +9/+9 that are attacking. Even if we made those 2 servos instead of those counters, our attacking creatures are getting +7/+7, and this is silly magic. The same with Wild Beastmaster. Whenever it attacks, each other creature you control gets +X/+X until end of turn, where X is Wild Beastmaster's power. The only difference is the other creatures we control don't have to be attacking in order to get this bonus. Master Biomancer. This is my favorite card to overwhelm our opponents. Each other creature you control ETBs with a number of additional +1/+1 counters on it equal to Master Biomancer's power, and it's a mutant in addition to its other types. When we make Master Biomancer a 7/7 with Storvald, we can get huge creatures afterwards. And what's nice is that we're giving those creatures +1/+1 counters, so they can keep those instead of losing their power and toughness with our commander, which is until end of turn. Blighted Agent. It has infect and it's unblockable. If we need to end the game soon, this is a great option. It takes 10 infect to kill a player. Now infect gives players infect counters, so 7 infect to a player with 40 life gives them 7 infect counters, but they're still at 40 life. Corrupted Conscience. We enchant a creature and we then control that creature, so this could be an opponent's creature we can gain control of, and the enchanted creature has infect. So both great options, especially with our commander giving our creatures a base power 7/7. So both are great options, especially with our commander giving our creatures base power and toughness 7/7. So add double strike or any +1/+1 counters to that creature and we can start taking players out. Thank you all so much for watching. If you'd like to purchase this deck, you can do so with the TCG link down below in the description. You can get your cards, and you help out the channel at no additional cost to you. Thank you to the patrons who help support the channel directly. You can also become a $10 patron to see your name at the end of these videos, and you get an exclusive Ultra Sleeve each month. Be sure to comment down below what you think of the deck, and subscribe for more Mango content. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.